Welcome back. It's Daisha D.
And it's Jay Stain.
And you are watching In Retrospect podcast, where we look beyond the surface to find understanding.
Bring you laughs, knowledge, and culture.
So sit back, relax, and join the combo. So today, if you have been watching any of us over the last year, you will see some familiar faces. From YBM Chat, we have Cassondra McCorkle, who works in education. We have Trey Dub, who is a graphic designer in Atlanta by way of Charleston. And then we have Lady Nova, who is a writer, an author, and blogger. I will make sure to put her information in the description box below. Yes, I am shouting you out. Hey, there's been a lot of foolishness going on this Black History Month, okay? From harassment to leaked nudes and all sorts of things. So we're gonna just jump right in. So for the past 2 weeks, Kanye West has been relentlessly harassing his soon-to-be ex-wife, Kim Kardashian West. He has sent a truck of flowers to her, I believe, on Valentine's Day. He has been releasing their text messages. He has been telling his fans basically to go beat up Pete, who he has nicknamed Skeet, which, pause, why would you nickname a man sleeping with your ex-wife Skeet? But we're gonna move on. He has cut off Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi has remained friends with Pete Davidson as well. And now he is following Pete's new Instagram page. So what do you guys think about all of this? And oh, by the way, Pete is a comedian from SNL. That's literally it.
I don't know why I thought he was like a singer or rapper or something, but
no, he's literally this goofy comedian.
He was with Ariana, right?
He was with Ariana, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They got engaged, I think.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He was on Wild 'N Out for a little bit.
Yeah, that's Kanye's wife. You know, until they together. They're together right now. He's fighting for his marriage. That's what's going on right now. Now,
hold on, pause. He also, because you just reminded me. So Justin says he's fighting for his marriage, yet he has been with a slew of random white girls. He just broke up with a random chick from a podcast named Julia Fox because now he's all of a sudden fighting for his marriage. But go ahead.
All of a sudden.
Wait, so but wasn't he the same person that just got caught up in a hotel with 2 other women?
Allegedly.
I mean, they want their pictures though.
I think they was walking out together.
That don't mean they was in the same room. That's because they walked out the same building.
I mean, it was definitely a friendly goodbye, as if like I definitely had the walk of shame, and I
mean, you know how it is, Hollywood lights, glamour.
It doesn't matter. He's gone on record to admit the fact that he was dating Julia Fox, and he gifted all of her friends with designer bags, including her.
Is it really
Kim's
curves though?
How?
Is it really?
But hey, he went from Amber Rose, Kim Kardashian, to a random white girl. Whether they bought the curves or not, you went from them to her. I'm saying it's very clear that he was with her just for the moment, just to be in the news, just to have attention, not because he loved her.
This was what's crazy. I just saw it earlier where Kev on stage was talking about somebody else who was like, all right, Black women, it's time for y'all to come in and heal him and get him. No, that is not our job. He's been doing stuff for the longest. I don't know why y'all feel that it is a Black woman's job to come in here and fix him and all this. Like, he needs to take his ass to therapy, sit on somebody's couch and be quiet, because all this back and forth of, I don't care about my marriage, but I want to buy a house across from my wife to be weird, and I'm gonna send her a truck of flowers, but I'm gonna still be with these girls, and then talking about you're not being able to see your kids. Like, it's too much, and that's not for a Black woman to fix.
It goes back to that double standard thing. Like we just said, Kanye was caught with all these women and stuff like that. She's with this, I assume Pete is like treating her right and, you know, being a boyfriend to her. And now he's upset and, well, now that's my wife. Now I want my family back and all this bull crap. I'm like, dude, he clearly needs help. He needs help, and he needs to take accountability and go see a fucking therapist. It's that simple. Breakups are hard as crap, clearly.
I mean, no, but see,
with him, it's just an extreme that is just like crazy. And of course, he's famous, so that just accelerates the issue like 100%. So
this is abuse, by the way. But go ahead.
Yes, because I'm about to say is that, and then what's crazy to me is like, how long have they been married? And then a couple months, y'all already dating again. It's like, so what were we married for? Y'all done had like what 3-4 kids?
I already told y'all.
And then a month and some change later, y'all talking to other people, and the stuff is not even finalized from what we know in public.
It's not real, man. Everything we see ain't real. I mean, they show you stuff, but you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes.
It's not real.
I mean, he had a whole message talking about Kim's other phone on social media, talking about leave what's his name, Pete alone, because he can really get hurt. And then he gonna post it on social media. And he got an album coming out, so I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of interesting how all this stuff's going on leading up to his album coming out. So regardless if he really truly wants to be with her or not, it's just like a lot of these antics. And he's dropped. Matter of fact, he has a 3-part documentary on Netflix. The first part's out right now. So it's just really interesting the timing of everything leading up to his album. So, you have any thoughts on that, Cassondra?
No, I just feel like people, so I've seen people on my Facebook page glorify it, or it was one, like, I guess he dressed up as a bush to spy on her or something. People was laughing at it, but I feel like it's harassment, and because he got all this money, he rich and famous, they kind of brush past it. And I don't like that. I feel like they just, how you don't like your ex stalking you, driving past your house, your mama house, everybody house looking for you. He doing the same thing. And people looking at it like, oh, well, it's Kanye West. And like Megan said, they're saying, oh, well, as Black women, we need to uplift him. He lost his mama. People go through stuff every day. You have to take accountability and say, I'm broken, I'm hurt, I am going to be the one to get help. I'm not going to sit there and be a creep stalker and then use that excuse. And I don't think he's purposely saying, I'm doing this because my mom died and I never processed it. But he's screaming it without screaming it. So if he don't want to get help, then he needs to be alone. Like Megan said, go sit on somebody's couch and just be alone. Just do some internal soul searching. And then if you want to. Now, I was on his side when I guess Kim Kardashian didn't give the address to the girls' party. And so a friend told Kanye West the address and he went. I was like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Because in that situation, the little girl's not going to say, oh, dad wasn't there because mom didn't give him the address. All she going to say is, my dad wasn't there. That's it. She's not going to understand or care about why he wasn't there. So that I was on his side. But this stalking and harassment stuff, it's not cute. It shouldn't be glorified. I don't care if you got $10 trillion.
But did you see her at the Super Bowl? I felt bad for North because everybody was saying like Kanye was getting booed and all this and that. She's just in the chair, just like sunk down. Like that's embarrassing for a kid.
Was that really him in that ski mask?
Yeah, that was him.
Okay, I was like, is that really him?
I think Kanye is full of it. I think that he tries to pull on the heartstrings of Black people and Black women when it benefits him. Because just a couple of,
They ain't pulling on mine. So.
Well, I'm just saying in general, because I feel like just a couple of years ago, I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. I was gonna say D-Rock. But you sitting there having meetings with Trump, who's somebody who has very dangerous rhetoric. You wearing his hat, you acting like a clown. You said slavery was a choice. We all said we were done with you, I guess, whatever that looks like. And then fast forward, now you are mad that your ex-wife doesn't want you because you don't want her. You just want her to want you. Let's be clear. So now that she
want him. She want him.
Why? He's giving her every reason to see why the hell she doesn't. Who wants to be with somebody who acts like that? I say no to you, and so it's like, if I can't have you, no one will. That's the start of a damn killing. That's what that is.
That is and it's not.
Listen, so that's what I'm saying. And so now that he's in this space, now all of a sudden he wants to go live. Yo, Kim won't give me the address for the baby party. And now he wants to post all of the tech. Get out of here. You weren't messing with us.
That's how he was on the phone?
Sounds to me. That's how he sounds. You weren't messing with us a couple of years ago. Continue not messing with us because we're done with it. Get help.
Him and that notepad letting it known I'm not hacked. I'm like, please stop talking.
Which is crazy because, when you got money, a lot of people start to omit or forget like certain things that are going on. But because if this is a regular person, they would have probably either been in jail, restraining order,
that's what I
something
said.
Crazy.
Right.
But that's why that just goes back to what I was saying earlier, man, all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Like, these folks really doing all this public feud. Meanwhile, their brands are thriving. That stuff is selling out. They could care less. You know what I'm saying? He got an album about to come out. But at the same time, what he's doing ain't healthy because he's putting these kids. He got kids involved. When kids involved, it's not good because now it's back and forth. He on social media talk about Kim's boyfriend will never see his kids. So now it's just like, dang.
He probably already has.
Right.
I mean, hey, you better not let him. They better not let him know that.
Him so he don't lose his damn mind.
Like, to be honest, y'all, the whole situation just sounds like it's just a very rich, like, famous version of paternity court. Like, it really does. Like, this like stuff that you hear on like court shows where they be doing all this outlandish stuff just to kind of like get each other's attention and all that crap. Like, I just find it funny as hell. But of course, like you said, like both of them got money and they're both like, you know, famous, and all the glitz and glamour and stuff just kind of intensifies the situation 10 times more. So yeah.
Please stop using his mental health disorder as a crutch, because I work with people who are severely mentally ill and they're not going around doing the things that he is doing. So let's stop.
I've been said that.
I mean, I'm a firm believer you get the energy back that you put out. So I mean, as far as it either be real or fake, nonetheless, everything that he's getting is everything that he wants. Or even if he doesn't want it directly coming, it'll come indirectly because it's what he's putting out. So that's the energy he's putting out. That's the, you know, the vibes he's gonna get back.
Anyone had anything else to give to him? My last comment was gonna be, now y'all see why B and J didn't go to that doggone wedding. All right, so moving on.
You deep for real. You just always gotta do that now. Hey, man, when he died.
Like I'd be like, hey, that girl deep.
I'm just saying, clearly they didn't go because they know it was foolishness from the start. So in other news, the baby backstory. Okay, I feel like everyone knows at this point. The baby rapper DaniLeigh is a singer. They got into it on Instagram Live. They share a child together. He dogged her out. She cried. They went back and forth, and now we're here. After that happened, DaniLeigh's older brother, I forgot his name. I think his name is Bills. I know his last name is Bills.
We'll just call him DaniLeigh's brother because I'm gonna tell you right now, most people don't even know what Buddy's name is.
I know his last name is Bills.
I know what the picture looked like. I know what the video looked like.
He went on air and he was like, basically telling the baby, when I see you, it's on site. Basically, let's fight, let's have a fight because you can't disrespect my sister. Woody woo woo. So that happened. Fast forward to like last week, I feel like there was some type of party at a bowling alley, and all we see is a fight break out between the baby and DaniLeigh's brother. The baby punches him, he slides onto the lane, and then all of a sudden the baby's team is like yanking his braids around, everybody's slipping and sliding on the ground, and then it's over with. So my question and now DaniLeigh's brother is suing the baby for negligence and what was
that's like endangerment or something crazy like
emotional distress.
Yeah.
So my first question is, was this fight fair?
No.
Oh, it was fair. It was on site. Yeah, that's crazy. You know, you talking that stuff online, you know what I'm saying? Don't say on site, and then when it's on site, oh Lord, I'm for real now. I just been talking.
Now,
but at the same time, you gotta protect yourself. The baby gotta protect yourself as a person in that position, because it's just like you are the one that has to lose the most. Like he has nothing to, like, you know what I'm saying? He don't really got much to lose. You got a lot of people you got riding on you to support. You got a lot of kids, my man. So you out here going crazy because he said on site. You gotta be smarter than that.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say yeah and no, because the baby has had a lot that's gone on with fights. If it was just him and her brother, cool. What the whole team got to do with it? All of y'all wasn't in the bedroom. All of y'all wasn't in that argument. To me, that makes the rest of them look like bitches. It's like, you don't want the baby fight no more. Let him get his one little steal off on, hit him, pull him back. If y'all want to keep his image, to be like, oh, he came after him. Baby defended himself. We pulled him off. Y'all went and jumped on him.
Mm-hmm.
Why? That ain't y'all sister. And if I was DaniLeigh, I would have been, well, if I was her brother, I would have been like, you made Yellowbone and made people think that you were just going to be here. You here now, you in the shit, I'm sorry, just sit back and be the fuck quiet because I'm not going over there. That's just me. You made yourself look like a fool when you already saw other stuff that was happening, and now you want me to go and fight him because you put yourself in this position?
Yeah.
No.
That's the point I was gonna make. Like, first was one, like, considering the baby's track record, he already like is fucking crazy. Like, he's crazy. We call him a spade. So like Megan said, like, you know, he can definitely separate himself from his team for 1 second to get in a fight that he's already been known for, like fighting people, fighting women. Like, dude, like
he hit a woman straight in the mouth.
In the mouth.
Like, one of them videos, boy.
Record. All of a sudden, yeah, like. I don't think it was a fair fight. Now, of course, granted, the whole fight could have been avoided, but at the same time, we're already here. So at the same time, he could have used that time to definitely had a square up one-on-one with him. So I'm sure his publicist is so over his ass. Like,
how many apologies I gotta come up with?
And then two, like Megan said, like Daniel probably gonna go back to his ass next month. I'm honestly sure about that because, like, again, she done been in a situation where, like, you know, she's dealing with a dude who clearly don't care, but obviously he's saying something to keep her stay. We all done experienced a situation like that. Like, seriously, I honestly, like, he didn't even have to get involved in the first place, but due to the fact that he's already in a situation where he is fighting that person, you could have squared up with that man one-on-one and gone about your business. You know, like.
I'm gonna say, I don't feel like I can ask any of you, but it's like, to anybody watching this, being digmatized, that's a real thing, because that's what it seems like. Y'all get dick and then it's like, lose my mind, forget everything else that I know, and just go ballistic. And I'm just like, I don't know what that's like.
I think it's beyond sex. I think that it's with anybody, regardless of who you're dating. When you have feelings involved, we've all been stupid in love at some point. We all have stayed with the wrong person for too damn long. We've all been there. So I think it's more than just sex. I think she truly had feelings for him. And I think that he made her believe that he was with her. They were committed to each other, and clearly he's a hoe. That's just what it is.
He ain't shit.
But Justin, you said that you feel like it was fair.
I mean, it's just a couple of things that, you know, you got to realize once you tell somebody like it's on site. One, you don't need to be in the same area where they or the same place that they're going or whatnot, and you don't got, you know what I'm saying? Like, where are people at that you came with? That's a potential like hazard right there to begin with. Like, as soon as she show up, you should be like, oh, here we go. Because you already know them boys he came with about to protect the money. They're gonna protect the money. And the baby is the money, because you gotta think about it. Most of the people that are around him not bringing in what he's bringing in. And then some people around him, he probably don't even got no income. He is a source of income. So, you know, as soon as something go off with him, I'm gonna say it. If something go off with him, they're like, well, I'm an extension of him. So I'm involved. And that's just how some of them cats think, which is wrong. In my opinion, you need to be your own person and live your own life. But you know what I'm saying? When you know your parents said, or older folks may have said, don't bite the hand that feeds you. So as far as they're concerned, we a part of the same body.
Man, and that's all that Burger King. You ain't gotta be risking your life out for this food. Like, it's all that Burger King.
What about you, Cassandra? I saw you made some faces down there. You think it was a fair fight?
I don't think he should have got jumped. I feel like they was cowards. If you already know he can beat somebody's ass, just let him fight. Why jump him? Why jump in? I mean,
I thought it looked like a cartoon scene. I mean, it was just a bunch of grown men slipping and sliding, pulling. It just looked stupid. It just looked dumb. As far as if the fight was fair, I definitely understand what Justin is saying. When you're dealing with people like that, if you tell somebody it's on site, that is a direct threat, and whatever goes. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like, yes, in a perfect world, we would hope that they'll be like, okay, y'all two got it, but that's just not how it goes. And if you are going to be that loud about it and direct about it, you need to make sure that either you have your people with you or you got some type of protection on you.
Most of these celebrities get sued too, though. Yeah. They'll tell you about it. And when they talk about it, it's like, think about it. If they go somewhere with a group of people and somebody from that group of people gets in a fight, they're not suing that person. They're suing the person with the most money in that group. It's crazy though, but
I don't know that he's gonna win that lawsuit though.
Oh no, he's gonna lose because they got it on camera. He over there trying to attack the man, running up on him, going stupid.
But not only that, he's the one that called attention
initiated
to it. So you kind of
instigated the whole situation.
Okay, so speaking of another popular baby daddy, Nick Cannon released a new song called Alone on Valentine's Day, where he is admitting to missing Mariah Carey. He talks about how he ain't no damn.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So
No, ma'am.
sad.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Daisha, finish that.
You mean
Finish
Hold
that.
on.
Daisha.
No, before you say
No, ma'am.
before you say so he says that he knows that she has a man, but he also knows that he doesn't want to be with her because he's not the man that she basically deserves, in so many words. Also, he did an interview where he talks about how monogamy is unhealthy. He says that it's a space of selfishness and ownership, end quote. So just go ahead and throw it out there. What are your thoughts? Cassandra, you go first, because you said all today.
He wanted, no, I thought it was cute at first. I'm like, oh, he missed his ex-wife. You know, they got the kids. But I feel like him saying monogamy is selfish. He just wanted an excuse to be a hoe. Now, I'm not saying people in polygamous relationships are a hoe. Don't get me wrong. You know, like, I feel like if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Live your life. However, for him to say it's selfish and ownership, I don't see it as ownership. Like, my husband is my husband. No, I don't want him with 5 other women. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm his wife, you know? And I don't think it's selfish. I think it's, I'm sorry, I feel like somebody didn't properly love him how he should have been, or for him to man up and said that he's not the man that Mariah Carey needs. But I feel like if he found that one person that actually showed him that true love that he actually, you know, needed
He said
and
she was
wanted.
it.
Yeah, well, she must not have been in enough.
No, he said no. He said Mariah Carey was his dream girl, but he effed it up. Those were his
Exactly.
exact words.
Like,
that's what he said.
F that he need to be love shit. I'm sorry. Get that out of here. I'm sorry. Like, I don't feel sorry for him whatsoever. What he said was effed up. Seriously. Like, that, how selfish can you be? Like, I'm so sorry, y'all.
Oh no, you fine.
I'm about to say, I swear, him, ever since that whole Dr. Sebi thing, I feel like he just became so hotepish with his thoughts that he's just going left field. And it's Black History Month, I'm going to say it. The whole monogamy thing, that sounds like a slave mentality, but men didn't have a choice, where they had families that they wanted to be with. And the slave master was like, well, fuck that. I don't want you to be happy. So I'm going to sell you off to the next one. You're going to just keep doing what I tell you to do until you can't do shit no more. How is monogamy, like, that's what, I don't understand people. And people have been trying to give him an out because he's sick. And I'm like, don't you think if you were sick, you would just stop doing the shit that you're doing?
He just want that old thing back, man. That's all it is. He ain't want it for too long. He just want that old thing back. He tried, and that's really what it is. You know, it's crazy because he's like, when men get all this money, and women too, women could possibly be doing this too. So I'm just not going to direct it towards men in general. When people get, I'll just say people, when people get all this money, some people go crazy, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some people get off the rails and they can do whatever. That's just like when, you know, some people get some tax money. First thing they want to do is go buy up all the crab legs in the section in the grocery store. So then you be like, damn, you out your damn mind. What about everybody else? They don't care about everybody else. They're going for what they know. They're going to do what makes them feel good, not realizing that it's not going to make you happy. You can fill up all them crab legs and then what? You full. And then you still, I'm pretty sure you couldn't eat them all. But somebody over there went in the grocery store, had their mouth ready for some crab legs, ain't nothing in there. So now you just create a whole chain of unhappy people that walking into the store. That's the best analogy I can give right now. But that's basically
no,
what
but
he's
that's
doing.
Perfect though.
He's leaving a trail of unhappy people. Because you gotta think about it. These people may have agreed to what's going on, like we discussed in our previous episode. Go check it out, by the way. It is up on YouTube. So he did, you know what I'm saying? He did do that with these women. These women agreed to it. But as we just hit on, he may be sick. And the disservice that he's doing to those kids is that he's not gonna be there. He can't be present. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not present, I mean, that's the whole issue.
And that's what he's not thinking about. He's just thinking about, oh, I'm having kids, I'm leaving a legacy. It's like a legacy of what? You don't have time to teach them individually anything. Not just business or whatever, emotional stuff. You don't have the time to devote to these kids
I mean, he's leaving a legacy, all right. A legacy of daddy issues.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Like,
So sad.
a legacy of trauma, a legacy of possible debt for all of these 18 or however much women he want to get pregnant, and he about to go. Well, in his mind, he's like about to die tomorrow. Like, dude, like, I don't get it. You know, I think it's selfish as hell. I'm sorry. Like,
no, it is. I don't think it's anything new though. I think that something that's interesting is that a lot of times women get a bad rep for always wanting the quote unquote bad boys. And they're like, y'all don't like the nice guys, y'all like the bad boys. But men do the same exact thing. Men go after the most toxic women. The ones.
I feel like they sleep with them. They don't bring them home.
Hold damn.
I know that
Men go after the most toxic women who seem exciting because they're loud, they're about drama, they want to fight, they're spicy, whatever that is. And then once they get their little hearts broken and they're ready for stability, then they want to circle back around to the good girl. So my point is, Mariah was a good person, clearly, to him, and he didn't appreciate what he had at the moment, much like Kanye. And so as soon as those people move on and they miss them for whatever reason, now they want to come back when it's too late. That's my point. Before y'all, I don't know, but yeah, it happens. They're so like it happens all the time. Men will F over a good girl, and then they see that the grass is not greener, and then they circle right back around, like, hey, so what's up, big head? What's up, stink?
Oh Lord.
Boy,
So let's talk about Megan Good then. Why Megan Good husband leave her then? Huh?
Who knows? They never released
I'm just
it.
saying, women get down too. That's all Justin got to say.
Did they release
women
what
get
they
down
did?
too.
Did they release what she did or he did?
Listen, you know what I'm saying?
Did they
Some people know how to
release
keep
what
stuff
he or
in
she
house.
did?
That's what you do. You keep it in house. You know what I'm saying? That's a pastor. Pastor ain't trying to let everything out now.
Just because he's a pastor doesn't mean he's a good dude. Let's make that clear too. Okay.
All Justin said was pastor ain't trying to let the house get out to the church.
I'm just saying. And another thing, let's define what good dude means, because a lot of y'all who say that a good dude is not just somebody who pays bills. Is he respectful? Does he have communication skills? Does he have emotional regulation? How about those things? But I digress.
So what makes a good woman, Daisha? Let's talk about it.
The same things I just listed. Somebody who's self-aware, somebody who knows how to communicate, somebody who's emotionally mature and intelligent, okay? Somebody who knows how to express themselves in a mature way. They're not screaming at you, they're not degrading you, anything like that. Not somebody who just look cute and somebody you can post cute pictures on IG with, or they got a nice body. That might look nice, but what is going on with you internally?
Yeah, that's a tall order for a lot of people in today's society now. I will say that because, you listed off a good bit of stuff. A lot of people fall short. That's okay. It's okay. You got to work on yourself. But it's a hard for some people to face everything you just listed in the face. Because, hey, some people have lived a good life up to this point.
I feel like Nick Cannon has plenty of females who are good women. He just don't care. He just sees a body to carry children and move on.
I think he's just not monogamous, and that's fine. I mean, as long as you're letting those people know, hey, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you. Because he said that all of the mothers are not polygamous, and they have never wanted to be polygamous. So they know what they're doing and they're fine with it. And I think that's fine if he doesn't want to be a monogamous, but don't try to act as if being in a one-to-one relationship is quote unquote unhealthy, because I feel like that fuels a lot of dudes who don't have the social capital that he does to think like, oh yeah, you see what Nick Cannon said, let's go ahead and do that. Sir, no.
That just fuels more of these TikTok podcasters. I said that just fuels more of these TikTok podcasters. That's all that does.
Because a lot of dudes who want these polyamory relationships or open relationships, they don't even know, they haven't even mastered being a partner to one person. So how is it that you want to be a partner to 3 and 4 people? Make that make sense.
Now, I do want to say I 100% agree, because they're definitely
Nah, Trey, say how you feel. Don't know.
No. because going back to Dacia's point about how men, in a way, are trash, not discrediting that whatsoever. But we're talking about this society whatsoever, and all of these conversations that we're talking about, women kind of coming up there too. Now, let's not neglect that whatsoever. These city girls.
I just was about to say that. Oh my gosh, Meg Stallion.
About a man's value is only how much he can provide for her financially. Like, come on now. Let's not forget that, especially in this society in today's world right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying, Dacia, but at the same time, I feel like women are kind of outweighing a little bit. I'm sorry.
I strongly disagree because you know why? I think that's what social media likes to make us believe. I just said to Justin, I think it was 2 episodes ago. I think it was an episode or 2 ago. It was Justin and Kendall that we had on, and they felt away because I said, I don't feel like the average women are out here saying, hey, you have to have 6 figures. I feel like those are, hold up. I wish I could finish. I feel like those are Instagram thoughts who post pictures all day, who want to be influencers, who say things like that. Women like me, women like Shatika, Desiree, people in normal life who have their own careers, who have their own income, are not looking for men with 6 figures.
How much women like you, and I totally agree with that, are out here right now actually saying that? Maybe like less than 20% of that women are.
Trey, that is bullshit.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh man,
that is.
I'm sorry. All right. Cassandra wanted to say something before we got involved.
I was about to say, I don't remember what I was about to say about before, but they just comment now. I feel like what Trey is saying, that's why people like us who don't care about how much a man make is a big deal. Because I know so many girls who are just like, oh, I need him to take care of me. I legit personally can tell you 5 women right now who legit said, oh, if he's not making money, he can't be with me. I don't want to work. I need him to take care of me. And it's like, obviously he has to be some sort of rich. You're going to have all these kids and be a housewife. Well, he going to be working at McDonald's. He can't do that if you don't want to work. So yeah,
what are these women doing for a living?
Call center. Boom.
What did I say?
I'm not saying nothing.
Somebody who has a career, somebody who can handle her own stuff, are not out here saying you have to take care of me. We are more than willing to do half and half. I think that's bullshit. I don't think that the independent women are acting like that.
Mm-hmm. There's independent women, but there are so many, like Trey said, city girls. Oh, I'm in my bag, but I'm in this too.
That exists, but that's not the majority.
I wouldn't say it's the majority either.
I know.
I mean, I understand where Dacia's coming from. It's just the mentality that you do have people that'll say that, but they don't truly mean it. You have a lot of situations where it could be male or female, where they come in and they are like, oh, you got to be this height to talk to me. You got to have this type of car to take me out. Your clothes got to be matching what kind of clothes I'm wearing. But that's not always the case. So I understand what Dacia's saying. And yes, Dacia, that may not be what it is for you, but you have some people with the mentality. It's not everybody, but the city girl mentality that Cassandra was hitting on, where it's like, oh, you need to have all this money, blase, blase. But the reality of the situation is this. At this age that we're in, everybody in their 20s, stop lying, man. Everybody ain't got it like that. So it's just not what it is.
Also, y'all even have access to those type of men. Let's be clear.
I mean, some people do. Some people do. I will give them that.
Some people in our circles have access.
No, now I can say these old rich men. I work at a high class preschool. These old rich people do be looking for these young girls who they do want to like wine and dine. I honestly can say that, which is why some of these girls can say, I don't want to work. I want somebody with money. Yeah, they might be older. They don't got to be our age, but
that's true.
If you worry about money, you don't care. If you marry him for his money, you're ready for him to die and take his money. You know, like you really don't having that much
money, because the average person is not going to be wealthy. The average person is not going to be making 6 figures. So let's wake it up. I mean, seriously.
I'm just gonna say, one, I'm going to defend Meg Thee Stallion because I feel like you threw her in there for like a split second.
You did? Me? No, I did. It was me.
Oh no, she's doing for her. Shorty got a nonprofit organization. She graduated college. She's trying to get her residential living stuff up. Like, I leave her alone. That's not a city girl. Like, her actions may not add up to what people want them to be, but she's minding her business. She's getting her own stuff. As far as trash things go, I don't want to say it's trash. I just feel like women are tired and they're just going to give back what's given to them, and I'm not really mad at it. It's just, it is what it is. Percentage wise of who is actually looking for a realistic relationship, maybe 20 something.
I don't even know.
And
So
that's
where do y'all find these studies at?
I'm
Kevin
just saying,
Samuels. He's doing homework.
no.
I mean, so y'all truly believe that 20% of women, only 20% of women.
No, I'm not saying just.
You ain't throwing no percentage on me.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying just women. I'm talking about both, because
across the board, everybody.
Yes, because majority of people, as much as people want to say our generation, we don't follow society and all that, we do. Because people out here, they don't want to shop at retail stores. They don't want to shop, go thrifting and all that. People feel like they got to have Balenciaga. You got to throw it out there. You got to have a certain lifestyle. Why is the average people thinking that they can't wear the same clothes throughout the week? Motherfucker, you got a washing machine and a dryer. That's what that shit is there for. I don't know who told you I'm supposed to wear this shirt once and then just be done. It's not that much people like ourselves that's just like, I can handle me, relationship, you can handle you. I'm not looking for you to take care of me. It's really not that much. It's very far in few. And even if you can count all your friends on your hand and on another person's hand that's not like that, worldwide, it's still a small percentage.
The reason why I know that's not true is because there would be a lot more single people in this world if that was the case.
I mean, they are. They're just fucking on people.
What?
I said they are single. They're just fucking on people.
I'm saying I don't believe that the majority of people, male or female, are exclusively dating somebody that is economically well off. I fail to believe that. I fail to believe that.
Did you see the Tinder swindler?
Did I see what?
The Tinder swindler.
Yeah, I saw it. And you saw who he swindled?
But, and that is true, but still.
So I yeah.
It's still a money thing though.
Yeah, but he was swindling people who had a different type of access, and that I don't really care about them, to be quite honest with you. I know that sounds terrible, but I don't. I feel like the majority of people, especially us, are not touching that type of wealth. Therefore, the majority of us cannot say we're going to exclusively date people who are making six figures. We might play around, be like, oh, he's gonna take it. We might play around and say that, but we're not going to go on a date and say, what's your tax bracket? We're not doing that. That might be a social media floss, but we're not doing that in real life.
They keep it a being. The real thing at the end of the day is this: if you're gonna mess with the person, you're gonna mess with the person for good, better, and indifferent. I feel that's why I'm at. I mean, the money does help, but you got some people with money that personalities be trash and people be completely turned off rip. So I mean, it comes down at the end of the day. I mean, just how you carry yourself, and that overrides a lot of the stuff. But if you have a substantial amount of money, yeah, somebody willing to overlook a lot. But for the most part, the majority of everyone, they're just going to just sit here and look for the person that they actually like or want to deal with.
Okay, so I guess we're just going to agree to disagree.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, it's fine. I do believe that people are out there like that, but I fail to believe the majority of us are just money hungry people, and we only date you if you make a certain amount. But moving on, there was a public school in Indiana where it became an option to learn about Black history, basically. Throughout the month of February, they were going to have someone come in and teach them about equity and diversity. And so they sent home a letter to parents, and parents could opt out of teaching or opt out of their kids being in the classroom during that segment of the day. And so now that school, and it's an elementary school, I believe, now they're receiving a lot of backlash. And of course, y'all know that a lot of other things similar to that are happening. Like there are parents who don't want critical race theory to be taught in schools. And then right here in Atlanta, Teachers, I mean, not teachers, parents do not want their children to be taught social emotional skills because they believe that we are going to put in things about race as well and diversity as well. So what do y'all think about that?
I teach 1-year-olds, and the biggest thing we teach is social emotional skills. So let's start in there. I feel like we don't get a chance to not learn about white history. They shouldn't get the option to not learn about Black history. This is not no sex ed class where you can sign your kid out and I'll teach them about it later. No, I want the real deal because some of these parents can leave stuff out. You know how many times I'm working? I used to work downtown. How many of them characterize, they lie and say, oh, they have never actually sold slaves here. What do you mean? You can lie to them. You can't lie to me because I was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina, and I know what my great-grandmama told my grandmama and what she told my mama. And these stuff, it might not be in history books, but damn it, they're going to learn about it. Sorry.
Nope, you were ready.
Scared she was.
All right, others?
All I was going to say was allow me to opt in and not to learn about Christopher Columbus, if that's the case.
Right.
Like, if that's the case, allow me to opt out and learn about that because he ain't discovered shit. Like,
Opt out of George Washington news, wouldn't he? Because don't nobody care. I've been hearing about the same shit since middle school.
make it fair across the board, if that's the case.
So are we just raising soft ass kids? Because y'all want to opt out of a lot of things. I feel like y'all are scared to talk to. I feel like what people are trying to do now is just stop teaching them stuff so they don't have a reason to be scared. But it's like once you get out there, this shit is there.
It does everybody a disservice for the simple fact that you got to think about it. Once they finish school, you're going to be integrated into a workforce that has African American people. So the fact that it's being an option to opt out, it just isn't good because you're already you already have the awkwardness that happens between, different ethnicities already when they're trying to hold a conversation. So the fact that somebody can't relate, don't do me like that now. Don't do me like that. But anyway, So what I'm saying is like, they're doing them a disservice because they're not learning anything that could possibly help them relate. Like something like, what I'm saying, Harriet Tubman, a bunch of the stuff that went down, and they don't know they know about it, but they don't know about it. So they're not learning anything about what occurred. So when the time comes, who's to say that you may not be in a situation at a fundraiser, a foundation of some sort that's asking you questions that may be related to that. Now you can't get involved because you don't know nothing. It's just doing everybody a disservice. You just really, you're not learning what you need to know. And already as it is, to have them opt out, they're already not getting the full everything of what Black people have done in America to begin with. It's only a small portion size in these history books to begin with. It shouldn't be allowed for anybody to opt out of it because you're already not getting the full sample size.
My thing is, we're given the Diary of Anne Frank as early as elementary school. Okay.
Yes.
So why is huh?
Helen Keller,
right, and the Holocaust is a very dark time, right? And we're being taught these things and no one's blinking an eye about it. So I don't understand. And Megan, you said earlier, we're raising soft kids and they don't want them to be scared. It's not about them being scared, it's about them being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I remember experiencing racism at the first time. I think I was 9, the first time I can remember experiencing racism, being called a nigger, hard R, okay? And I didn't get to escape that because I don't get to wake up and decide if I'm gonna be Black today, okay? So if our kids have to go through life as Black people, they don't get to escape and opt out of. So you shouldn't get to opt out of. And also, those parents are teaching those kids as they grow that they can continue to opt out of information about other people. And so then we're going to continue to have these little conservative people voting and doing the same type of cycle of racism and oppression. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, the issue is that we also face here is that you got to think about it. When you see a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, even a 4 or 5-year-old, they're not sitting there not playing with a child because they're white. They don't think about nothing like that. You got adults around here side-eyeing each other. I mean, just, all type of animosity, malicious intent, looking upside. When kids are that young, they do have their innocence. Now, I can't say every kid has their innocence because a lot of kids experience different things at different ages. But for the most part, most kids at that age, they don't think about that stuff. All they know is that's my friend. which is crazy to think that all of a sudden the option to opt out of something, all that does is add fuel to the fire to create separation. Why? Oh, I don't got to learn that. Well, all right, I don't got to learn that. But
must not be
they
important.
can opt. Right. Must not be important. And then all of a sudden that spills over into the Black community as well, because they're like, oh, well, I don't got to learn that because I'm Black. Huh?
Hey. What's crazy is, oh, go ahead, Trey.
I 100% when Justin mentioned about the whole diversity, especially in the workplace, because like if you are like, you know, if you're basically opting out of not learning about Black history or whatever the case is, like in those workplaces where you're actually, you know, in school for essentially, right? So it's like we're in these situations that we don't know how to interact with people who are not Black or not white or whatever the case is, which leads to, again, a toxic environment, a toxic workplace. And it like Justin said, it does a disservice to people in like long term, you know, like I'm in a very diverse workplace right now where there's always some type of in my case, like microaggressions that are going on, you know? So in those cases, you have to be uncomfortable to have those conversations because you have to like teach and educate in some way, shape, or form or fashion. So like opting out or having the option to not learn those things is pretty disrespectful in my opinion, you know?
Yep. As far as Justin said with fundraisers, my parents' former place of employment, I'm not gonna say their name, I could because I don't like them hoes, but they had a lot of stuff that was for Black people, and over the years they just got rid of it. They used to give tickets for Black Expo and everything else. Not much people wanted to go to that. They didn't care, and then they just stopped doing tickets. Martin Luther King breakfast, they used to get tickets for that, and then they just stopped doing it. They anything that was Black, they just made it obsolete, and they try to say, oh, we had newcomers, they're doing different things. I'm like, they're doing different things that are not Black. Again, with what Justin said, Black people don't want to learn about Black people. I know grown ass people that don't know anything about Arthur Ashe because all they want to talk about is Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. Herder Doe's like, yeah, these people did a lot, but there are still a gang of other people. Our very own high school had Black history for 1 year and got rid of it. And nothing was taught. I'm not going to throw the teacher under the bus. I'm not going to name his name, but we sat there and listened to a book on tape and then took a test. No engagement, no nothing. It's like, no, it does not need to be an opt-out, but it needs to be different type of teaching and open dialogue.
Yep.
And it's like,
and that's the point I was going to make, because like I said, even the workplace now, there's a lot of like Caucasian people who simply don't know the little small things that may trigger us, or like little things like that. So it's good to kind of have those like that education early on, or hypothetically, if we are at an age where you don't know anything, take that time to pull them to the side and kind of use education. I know they should probably about that, but because we had a pretty outside conversation about that before. But I
can share.
Yeah,
so,
it also helps though. It helps
ahead.
though that if you gotta know what the history of a people, so you can fully understand what some people may actually be going through, and you just gotta understand, try to know people's history when you try to talk to people, because then you can actually have some understanding of why people may act a certain way. Granted, we're talking from the perspective of Black history, but also just knowing people in general. Like, you got to do that. But I just wanted to hit on the side that I was starting to hit on when I was saying that the Black kids also have the option to opt out of Black History Month as well, because it was sent out to the students as a whole to opt out, which doesn't breed. That just doesn't breed. That's not good, because it's not going to be good for these kids when they get older, because all they're going to know is they know of people, but they don't know how to be proud of certain people that have put in this stuff, all this work, went through all this abuse to get them to get the liberties that they have today. And it's really sad too, because nowadays as well, you have a lot of Black people that are breaking down walls. Like, we just had the first Black woman to win the speed ice skating record. She broke all that. Like, she literally taught herself to do all that in like a matter of like 5 to 6 years. That's crazy. Yeah. But you don't hear a lot of people talking about it. We also had a Black African American woman win the 800 meter, 800 meter dash or run, whatever you call it. I'm not a track expert, I apologize, but she was the first one to win it in like a long time, or if not a long time, but the only one. But there's a lot of good stuff going on out here, but we just got to pay attention. And that's just I just don't want that to breed bad behavior for the next generation, which it obviously is going to do, and create more separation.
one thing I was going to say, I forgot most of it. Y'all have said a lot, but Trey made a comment about the whole education thing. So that's another reason why it is very important for schools to continue to implement history lessons about us, because in my opinion, it is not fair for Black people, LGBTQ people, Jewish people, whoever, to have to do labor by having to educate this person, that person, this person, that person at work. That's not fair to us. Because if you already had that information, or at least a starting point, you wouldn't have to. I could see asking a question here or there, but I feel like at some point it starts to become labor. For instance, when a lot of those shootings were happening during the pandemic, I hope they don't watch this show. But when a lot of those shootings were happening during the pandemic, I had some people from college reach out to me like, hey, we're so sorry about all the things going on. Let's go ahead and do a Zoom call. And I was like, I'm not about to do a Zoom call with y'all so that you can tell me how badly you feel, and it makes you feel better that you have apologized to a Black person. You go do that labor yourself. You go have those conversations with people who look like you. Because you trying to have those conversations with me, you're preaching to the choir. And we're not about to do that. I already have to deal with parents talking to me about police brutality. I'm not about to do it with you too. So that's all I'm saying. I think that if the school can give a starting point, then we as Black people, or just any minority group, don't have to do so much labor later on in life, because that's not fair. We already have to see it plastered everywhere. I don't want to sit and have this dialogue with you for hours and hours so you can feel better about yourself. You didn't do the work. We just did. Go do some research, listen to a podcast, read a book.
Please recommend which podcast they listen to so they don't veer off into the wrong people.
A fantastic one would be Small Doses, Amanda Seals' podcast. That's a fantastic one if you want to, because I feel like she can make it funny and not too daunting as far as like political issues, or not just political, but social issues as well. Me personally.
You're also watching Retrospect podcast as well.
Yes.
One thing Trey talked about earlier too was having uncomfortable conversations. And y'all are my friends on Facebook. Y'all probably saw it, but I shared this post yesterday that said, white people saying, or whatever. I see no color is not the goal. And then another quote that said, I see your color and I honor you. I value your input, and I'll be educated about your lived experiences. I will work against the racism that harms you. You are beautiful and I will do better. End quote. And it didn't have who that was from, but I remember being at work and having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and like Trey said, it was very uncomfortable. Like I didn't want to say something, but I had to, because she was like, "Oh, you're my girl. I don't see color," and I was like, "But I do. I'm clearly brown. You clearly pale. Come on, this is like way different." You know what I'm saying? And
Not
it
pale.
just. And I said, I get what you're getting at. Like, I'm your girl regardless. Like, I love you, you love me. But I want you to see my color. You know what I'm saying? Like, my skin's different. My hair's different. Everything about our history is different. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get that, you love me, but also acknowledge how I look, acknowledge that I look different than you, and acknowledge that the struggles are different. And, even a friend of mine who we would go into the store, and just stuff is different, and I'd just be like, leave your purse in the car. And it just was, second nature to me. Like, I'm not bringing that bag in. And she was like, why not? And then stuff like that is just like, I don't want to be followed, blah, blah, blah. Or I don't want to, give people to look at me, or so stuff like that is unfortunate that we have to go through. But just having those conversations and letting them know, you can't say stuff like that.
Cassondra, that's a microaggression, because I literally went through the same thing at my job.
Oh no.
Yeah, something similar to that. I don't mind talking about it, but
okay.
Our holiday party, and Megan and me. But anyway, so I had my company holiday party, and mind you, like I said before, it's a very diverse company that I work with, and so we're having our holiday party, and we're doing a white elephant gift exchange, and so one of the gifts, do y'all even know how elephant gift exchange works? Like, you're basically buying gifts for random people you don't even know who you're giving it to. Yeah. And so one of the people who had the gifts, who was Caucasian, bought a bottle of Crown Apple with a lottery ticket attached to it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna if you're gonna do that after I finish the story, but anywho, so if you know how the wet elephant gift exchange works, you pick numbers out, and the amount of people that are in the group or whatever like that, that's of course each person buys a gift, and so you pick a number, and based off the number you pick, that's what the person will give you that specific gift or whatever like that. So fast forward to now, everyone has gotten their gifts, everyone's picked their number, and we're now asking who gave what gift. Now, like I said before, one of the gifts was a bottle of Crown, and a lottery ticket attached to it. So now we're asking, oh, let me rewind. I'm the only Black person that's in this scenario right now. So yeah, keep that in mind. So I knew. So so now we're asking who gave the bottle of Crown, and guess what all heads turned to?
You.
Are you serious?
And a lottery ticket. Yeah.
A scratch off lottery ticket attached to it, y'all.
It been a $10, $5, $2.
I don't remember. It was. I didn't even get the gift. Like I didn't even get the gift, and
they just thought you brought it.
Yeah. They thought I brought it, and that was and that was the problem. And so, like in the moment, like Cassandra said, that's the first time I've ever even been in a situation like that, to where I'm like, wait, what just happened here? Like, and it was like a choir in unison, all head turned into Trey. And so literally the next day, I called my boss and I was like, hey, let me tell you something right now. Of course, I didn't say it like that, but I had to let her know, like, simply, like, for someone who looks like me, that's not okay. You know, you don't automatically assume that just because, like, you know, there's a bottle of Crown and there's a scratch off lottery ticket, like us. Matter of fact, I think it was a $2 one, by the way. And
you know what?
What are you gonna do with that? Buy a Kit Kat?
Right.
Damn, my boy trying to call you a broke boy. That boy said, we know you bought the $2.
But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, you know, because that happened, you know, I had to have that uncomfortable conversation with my own boss about that. And I did something that I want to be transparent, like, listen, that's not okay, you know? And I'm letting you know this because other people who look like me would have probably taken that to court, to be honest. Like, you know? So again, to Cassandra's point, that's one of those conversations you really have to have with people who haven't had that type of education. And I work with like 30, 40-year-old people. So obviously they most likely have had minimal experience dealing with people who look like us. So, you know, that's one of those education moments where I feel like it's necessary because some people, and I hate to use this word, but are ignorant.
No, that's what it is.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that just further proves the point as to why diversity in classes about it and history are so important, because you want people to be aware so that you don't have to have as many uncomfortable and hard conversations. But I want to thank you guys for joining us for this conversation. I felt like it was funny. Some parts of it was heated, which is fine. We enjoyed having all of you. Again, we're going to put all of their socials in the description box below. Let us know your thoughts on these different events that happen. Happy Black History Month. Okay. See you on Friday.